You see? Although I'm slow today, I remembered.
I might have a new friend on today.
Okay. Welcome. Whoever comes, welcome. Maurice, Rochale asked you to send this song?
Yes.
Yeah, because she said that, that she wants to listen.
Yes.
I don't see her yet, but well, she always comes later.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to run out again. I've got a therapy appointment. So if I
Okay,
just leave. Don't be insulted.
that's okay. People coming in, going out, no problem. I can say that I'm not taking attendance, but that's not true. I do it because I need to know who is reading. So it's for the reading. So okay, I think we should start.
Yes.
What do you say?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, let's start. Okay. Okay. I think you can see it, yes?
Yes.
And
Ich bin schon wieder Single, klingt so wie ein Jingle. Mit mein Weibel hab ich sich gegett. Gedenkt hab ich zu muffen, auch Gesicht zu schluffen, hat mein Weibel mich übergerät. Was darfst du sich blicken, in Fremde sich sticken und sein alleinen reden sie die Welt. Bleib du über pink wie früher, sei ja Border jetzt bei mir, wie ein Fremder zolle hier dem rennt. Oi, ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Männer, ist du's a teure Job? Sie attendet mich mit alles, wenn ich kim frag, sie kim scheiles. Ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Es ist ein Vergnügen, alles kann ich kriegen, wie ein fremder Border bei mein Weib. Ich bin gut nicht kein Griner und jeden Tag noch Dinner leg ich sich als so zum Zeitvertreib. Oi, früher fleck sie mir schelten und nie bekehren Welten, komm mit der fremden Border in mein Stieb. Nur Zeit, ich bin in Bord bei ihr, ist sie, also geht sie mir. Es kostet mir billig und sie hat mich lieb, weil ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Männer, ist du's a teure Job? Sie attendet mich mit alles, wenn ich kim frag, sie kim scheiles. Ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Ich such euch jetzt euch Tricklach, als ich fühl sich glücklich. Besser als a Border, der Mann. Ihr helft mir, ich darf mein Weib nicht hitten und unkim in mitten, wenn der Butcher bringt das Fleisch herein. Ich bin ganz frei von Sorgen, ich darf nicht leihen, bogen, nicht arbeiten und bringen ihr das Geld. Nur Zeit, ich bin in Bord bei ihr, ist mir geht gut und Aschier. Ich esse und trink noch ohne Brennerwelt. Ei, ei, ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Ei gut, ei Weib, ei gut, Männer, ist du's a teure Job? Sie attendet mich mit alles, wenn ich kim frag, sie kim scheiles. Ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Ei, 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 ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Männer, ist du's a teure Job? Sie attendet mich mit alles, wenn ich kim frag, sie kim scheiles. Ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Mein Weib!
okay.
Mina, I'm here if you want me to do the PowerPoint. It's my
Okay. Okay, I'll just make you co-host and just a moment, Michael. Okay, I made you co-host, so the next time
Okay.
you will run it, okay? Okay, Janet, will you start reading the English?
Ich bin a boarder by mein Weib. I'm a boarder with my wife. Exemplifies a misogynist streak in Yiddish musical comedies of the early 1920s. Like other songs that we've heard, it is full of Yiddish words. It was written by Reuben Doctor, who was born in Bessarabia and went to England at age 14 to live with an uncle. He sang in synagogue choirs and in the Yiddish Theater of London's East End. He moved to America in 1908 and wrote songs extensively for Yiddish vaudeville. 80 of his songs were published, and he recorded many of them himself. Aaron Lebedev recorded the most well-known version. A parody of the song appeared in the play Business. Ich bin bei mir der Boss in shop. I'm the boss in my shop. Das ist, soll ich
go.
weiter?
Ja, weiter.
Ich bin a boarder by mein Weib is sung here by Henry Sapoznik, a scholar and performer of klezmer music. His group was Capella, who sang a gläsele Maschke, a little glass of whiskey, we have heard. He was the first director of the Archives of Recorded Sound at the YIVO Institute.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Rochelle, since you're here only part of the time, read.
Okay, ich bin schon wieder Single. Punkt azoi wie a Yingle. I'm single again, just like a young boy. Mit mein Weibel hab ich sich geget. I divorced my wife. Gedenkt hab ich zu muffen. I thought about moving. Rumgesuchen zu schlafen, looking for a place to sleep. Hat mein Weibel mir übergerät, so my wife convinced me.
Okay, continue the next.
I need the next slide.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Here.
Was darfst du suchen klicken? What are you looking for? In fremde rooms sich sticken, to be choked up or stuffed into strangers' rooms. Und sein allein in reden to the vent, and to be alone and talking to the walls. Bleib da über Punkt wie früher. Stay here just like before. Excuse me?
No, someone
Okay.
was speaking here.
Sei a boarder jetzt bei mir. Be a boarder now by me. Wie a fremder soll ich
Oh.
ihr
Sol.
ich ihr die Rent. And like a stranger, I pay her the rent.
Okay, thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Thank you. Elaine, would you continue?
It's okay, it's okay.
Elaine?
Okay. We're at the chorus. Ich bin a boarder by mein Weib. I'm a boarder with my wife. Männer is das a tire job. Men, this is an excellent or a dear job. It's an excellent job. Wie a fremder, like a stranger. Sie attended mir mit alles. She, not sure, she listens to me, she attends to me. I couldn't get that. Attended.
Serves.
Oh, okay, so attends was good. Okay, so she serves me with everything. Wenn ich fragt sie kein Scheles, When I come home, she doesn't ask me any questions.
Okay, it has to be an aleph after a shin.
Uh-oh.
Silas.
Oy vey.
Oy vey.
Silas.
Oy vey.
Oy vey.
Silas,
Oy,
yeah,
oy,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I knew it was Silas though.
Okay.
Ich bin a boarder, but I'm a boarder with my wife.
Okay.
You want me to continue?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Es ist a Vergnügen. It's a pleasure. Alles kann ich kriegen. I can get everything. Wie a fremder border by mein Weib. As a stranger, a strange board, just not, as a stranger border with my wife. Ich bin Gornit kein Greener. I'm not an immigrant anymore. Und jeder Tag noch Diener. And not every day a servant. I guess that's what.
No. Maurice.
And every day.
And every day. So noch, what's noch?
After dinner.
Oh.
After dinner. There are a lot of English words there.
I know. Oh, yeah. And every day. Okay, because dinner is servant in, okay.
Right.
Every day after dinner, leg ich sich zu also zum Zeitvertreib. I lie around to pass the time. I lie around to pass the time. I just lie around.
Not completely. Maurice, can you do it? The last one?
Well, it's I lie down.
Lie down.
I lie down just to pass the time. I lie down just like that, just to to waste time, Zeit for time.
Just like that. Okay.
For leisurely.
Right.
No.
Okay. Thank you, Elaine.
Thank
Rina
you.
Leah, can you do the next one?
I'll try. Let's see.
Just wait for. Oh, here. No.
I may need some help.
Maurice will help you.
Thank you, Morris. Oi,
Sure.
Freer Flegzimir Shelton. Earlier, I was used to, I'm not sure, Shelton.
She used to curse me.
Earlier, I was used to Shelton, but I don't know
No.
which.
She used to curse me. Flake Z.
Oh, a Fleg,
Shelton.
Flegzi, yeah, okay.
She used
When
to
Eber
curse me.
Karen Velton, I know Velton is world and Eber over something, the world. You help me, Morris.
Yeah, if it can vote me, she would
Two people.
lose it. She'd just go crazy.
Oh, Eber Karen is go crazy,
Yeah.
okay.
Turn over.
Okay, Gormit a Fremden border on mein Stube. With a stranger border in my village, living in my.
Right, so here the word gore means even with having a stranger boarding in my house, she would carry on even though there was a stranger in the house. It didn't stop
Okay.
him.
Nor Zeit, ich bin in board by ear. So since I've been boarding by her,
Uh-huh.
is sie so gut zu mir? She is good to me. Es kostet mir billig und sie hat mich lieb. It costs me cheap and she loves me. It costs me
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's his idea of love, I guess.
Yeah. Well.
It's
Okay.
cheaper, right?
Thank you. Thank you, Rina Leah. Steve. Steve, I heard your voice. So
Oh, no. I thought it was just what he's saying, that it's cheaper
yes.
and she loves me.
And she
I
loves
pay less and
Ah.
I'm loved.
Right,
Yes. Yeah. So it's
It doesn't
worth it.
bother him.
Yeah.
right,
He gets to lay down. He doesn't have to do chores.
Wouldn't
Right.
bother me either.
right.
Okay. But anyway, Steve, read. Yeah.
I just want to interject for a moment, if I may. My
Yeah.
aunt had the exact same thing. She divorced her husband and he became a boarder by her, my Uncle Levi. And then when we went up to visit, she goes, "Jetzt bin ich a lady. Kommt knock, knock, knock on my door." He said, "No."
All right,
Okay.
let's not go into
He
that.
was a
Yes.
boarder.
Okay.
He was a boarder. Yeah, jetzt bin ich a lady.
Okay, Steve.
Ich bin a boarder by mijn vibe. Mener is dos teure job. I'm a boarder by my wife, and it's a wonderful job. Sie attendent mir mit. She takes care of everything. Wenn ich komm, fragt sie kein Shilas. When I come, there's no questions being asked. I'm a boarder by my wife.
Right.
Okay, since this was read already, so read the other.
Oh, I thought I was being smart.
Try.
All right, I'll try again. Ich sag euch jetzt ausdrücklich. I say to myself,
It's to you. Yes, Zog.
yes, you are. I'm telling you, it's it's overwhelming, over joyful.
No, well, so
no.
ausdrücken is to express, and ausdrücklich means
Oh, okay.
I'm telling you the truth. I'm talking to you straight. It's like,
Right.
you know, in another song we had in Papierosen, when he's trying to sell the cigarettes, he says, Ben Amunis, for real. I'm telling you the straight truth.
Okay. Als ich fühl sich sehr glücklich, that I am very happy. Bester alles boarder eider a man. It's better to be a boarder than a husband. Ich darf mein Vibe nicht hittel. Hitten. I need my wife. I'm not sure what. Not a.
I don't need to care for her.
Okay.
No, see what he's saying,
to her.
he's explaining that when the butcher brings the meat, when the butcher comes into the house,
Mhm.
he doesn't have to watch her. Ich darf mein Weib nicht hieten und unkommen inmitten. I don't have to worry, I don't have to watch
Oh.
her and come in there.
In the middle of something.
Unkommen inmitten. He doesn't have to worry about what she's doing with the butcher.
Oh, wenn der Butcher bringt das Fleisch rein.
That
Okay.
was
Right.
hidden, not mitten. That's hidden.
Heaton is to watch. He doesn't have to watch her.
Yeah,
Right. Or walk in on the middle of the
Right.
butcher bringing the meat.
Right.
By the way, it can be very dirty too.
Yes,
Yes.
a bissel of a double entendre, yeah?
All right, let's continue. Uh-huh.
Yeah, just a moment. Elaine, go back, Michael. Elaine has a question.
Okay, I have a question back on as ich feel sich sehr glücklich. Isn't glick luck? Like I feel very not happy. I feel whoever it was translated as happy. Isn't it? I feel very lucky.
It has both meanings.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so. Okay, Judy, please. Judy.
Ich bin oh.
No, Judy, not Zuli. Zuli, you will read. You will read later. Judy Levi.
Okay, great. Ich bin ganz free von Sorgen. I'm very free from worrying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ich darf nicht lehen Borgen. I don't know that with that word.
I don't know what that word is either.
Oh,
Lion.
good.
I just wrote it down the way I heard it, but Borgen is
Okay.
to borrow. Maybe it's to lie. Maybe it's in English to
Borrow.
lie.
Borrow.
Oh, I
Lend
don't
and
need
borrow.
to, I don't
Just
need
a
to lie.
moment, not everyone, just not Maurice and then Refoil. Maurice.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was thinking lie. It sounded, maybe it was an English word to lie. Borgen is to borrow, but maybe lion has some other meaning, or maybe I didn't hear it. I may not have heard it right. I don't know.
Lion, I think, is loan.
Refoil,
Loan or borrow.
Refoil, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's borrow or loan.
Borrow
Either
or
a
loan.
borrower nor a lender be.
Okay. Okay, Golda, yes?
Same thing, right.
Okay, okay. So Judy, go on.
Nicht arbeiten und bringen ihr das Geld. I don't need to work or bring her any money.
Mhm.
Nur seit ich bin in Berg bei ihr.
Borg.
I'm not, I don't know, understand
It's
that
but
line.
since, no, seit ich bin in Bord bei ihr, but since I've been boarding with her.
Is mir gut nur on a sheer. It's wonderful. I believe.
Good, yeah.
Ich ess in und trink nur und ich bring what? Brenne wel. I eat and I drink and I'm not sure.
Having a ball.
I think I'm having a great time.
Having a great time.
Having a great time. Sounds wonderful.
Okay. Thank you. So I have people raise their hands. So Refoil, please.
Yeah, I looked it up and lion it's a strange word. It can mean to borrow. And then Oislion is to lend. So lion and Borgen are, I think in this case, meant to be synonyms, not antonyms. So
Okay.
there's nothing I need to borrow.
Right.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, thank you. Elaine? I see.
I have a question about on Ashir. I remember that from, I think from a Hanukkah song, one of the Hanukkah songs. Is that an idiom? It means wonderful?
No, without end.
Without end.
Without end.
Oh, without end. Okay, so it's all good to me without end. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Rochelle, yes?
Yeah, we have two sentences in this. Brennen a Welt and ich brenne a Welt und überkehren a Welt, which are, I guess, idioms. One meaning she's turning the world upside down would be literal, making things crazy. And here, brennen a Welt means to burn a world, meaning I'm joyful and happy and, you know, just the opposite kind of meaning, but both, there's some parallel there.
Okay, thanks. Okay, let's continue. Now Zuli.
All right. Ich bin a border by my wife. I'm a border with my wife. Männer ist das Steier du shop.
Job.
Man, this is a very good deal. Sie attend mich mit alles. She takes care of me with everything. Wenn ich komme, fragt sie, kann ich alles? Ich bin a border by my wife. When I come, she'd never ask anything, and I'm a border with my wife.
Good.
Good. Okay, that's a nice one.
Oh, Shilas is spelled correctly here.
Yes,
This is,
yes.
that was a picture of Maurice at home.
I never looked so good.
Especially the high hat.
Yeah.
Especially the hat.
It's my
Now we know why she got to get. Now we know why.
Okay, let's listen to it once
Don't get
again.
ideas here, huh?
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot to share the sound. Let me redo it.
Ich bin schon wieder Single, klingt so wie ein Jingle. Mit mein Weibel hab ich sich gegett. Gedenkt hab ich zu muffen, auch Gesicht zu schluffen, hat mein Weibel mich übergerät. Was darfst du sich glicken, in Fremde sich sticken und sein allein in Reden sie die Welt. Bleib du lieber pink frier, sei ja Border jetzt bei mir, wie ein Fremder zoll ich hier dem rennt. Ui, ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Männer, ist du a teure Job. Sie attendet mich mit alles, wenn ich kim frag sie kein Scheiles. Ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Es ist a Vergnügen, alles kann ich kriegen, wie ein fremder Border bei mein Weib. Ich bin gut nicht kein Griner und jeden Tag noch Dinner leg ich sich als so zum Zeitvertreib. Oi, früher pflegt sie mir schelten und nie bekehren Welten, go mit der fremden Border in mein Stieb. Nur Zeit ich bin in Bord bei ihr, ist sie, also geht sie mir. Es kostet mir billig und sie hat mich lieb, weil ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Männer, ist du a teure Job. Sie attendet mich mit alles, wenn ich im Frag sie kein Scheiles. Ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Ich such euch jetzt durchs Tricklach, als ich fühl sich glücklich. Besser als a Border, der Mann. Ihr helft mir, ich darf mein Weib nicht hitten und nun komm in Mitten, wenn der Butcher bringt das Fleisch herein. Ich bin ganz frei von Sorgen, ich darf nicht leihen, bogen, mit arbeiten und bringen ihr das Geld. Nur Zeit ich bin in Bord bei ihr, ist mir geht gut und a Schier. Ich ess und trink noch ohne Brennerwelt. Ei, ei, ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Ei gut, ei boy, ei gut, Männer, ist du a teure Job. Sie attendet mich mit alles, wenn ich im Frag sie kein Scheiles. Ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Ei, 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 ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Männer, ist du a teure Job. Sie attendet mich mit alles, wenn ich im Frag sie kein Scheiles. Ich bin a Border bei mein Weib. Mein Weib!
Rochale, I see that you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I wanted to say regarding my remark that when the butcher comes, he bringt rein the fleisch, that it can be double meaning. I was going to say it's funny, but also not so funny, because if you think about the old days when the electricity didn't exist yet, you had to be quite a muscle strong guy to be a butcher, to be able to handle all the animals, cutting them, preparing them, carrying them, and so forth. And if you're a butcher, you get more protein, which increases your muscles naturally, you know. So I think, thinking about the typical Jew, I can see why he brought in the butcher, not somebody else. I mean, a blacksmith could go well too, but I was thinking also about the protein thing. So with a winking eye about that.
Okay. Okay. Anyone has any winking additions or comments? That was a lovely song. So, are we moving to the story? Okay.
I put a, I'm sorry.
It also
I,
shows that they had borders.
Yeah.
The people had borders. One was a husband, but most had borders of new immigrants.
Okay, Steve.
there's
We
a
had
ver- there's
borders
a-
when I was growing up because it was during the Depression. And my father was injured in an automobile accident. So there was no income. So we all doubled up and we had borders.
Okay, yeah, well, it was a way of life. Michael muted all of you, so if you want to speak, you have to unmute yourself. So finally, Steve.
Yeah, I put a link in the Schmooze Kessel in the there's a lot of wonderful stuff that Vinkl at the was interviewed a lot by Christo Whitney, and all of his interviews are great, but it's a very sweet version of him singing this song impromptu. If you want to, I put the link in the Schmooze Kessel.
Yeah, well, Michael also put it in the newsletter, in our weekly newsletter. If you went all the way down, which you should, because there are treasures there. So that's one of the things that he puts there. So whenever you get the newsletter, please scroll down. There are a lot of interesting things that Michael puts there for us.
If I knew there was going to be a quiz, I would have read it.
Yeah, okay. Bob?
Yeah, I just had just an epiphany from 75 years ago. My grandmother and grandfather in Hartford, Connecticut, they had a border that I actually called my Uncle Moshe. And he was a baker. He would get up every morning at 5, 6 in the morning to go bake. And I remember he had tattoos on his arm.
Tattoos? He was Jewish?
Yes, in the 50s. Yeah, Moshe. What do you mean? Was he Jewish?
Yeah, no, tattoos and Jews don't go together.
No, well, it was not the kind of tattoo you would put on your arm yourself. It was something numbers. They were numbers.
Ah, okay.
And it just occurred. It just hit me that this is like in 48, 49. So he had to be a survivor. Yeah.
A survivor, yeah.
And he was like Uncle Moshe. And yeah, I just had never even dawned on me, even thought of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Amazing.
sorry, but those are different kind of tattoos.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
Judy?
If it wasn't for borders, I would not be here. My grandmother was involved in Poland with a non-Jewish guy. Her sister and husband had a border in Detroit, and they shipped her off to him as her fiance. In fact, I have her passport, and it says who is receiving her. It says fiance David Fruman. So if it wasn't for borders, I would not be alive. That's my
nice
story about borders.
Welcome, Judy.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
I
a
mean,
nice
story. Her sister had a border. They were not happy with her being involved with a non-Jewish guy. So much to her dismay, she was shipped off to him.
Okay.
He was a wonderfully nice man. That's my border story.
Good.
Who
Maurice?
is your father?
Maurice?
Father.
Who is my father?
The border?
My father was the child of this couple.
Mm-hmm. Those are her grandparents.
Those are my grandparents.
Maurice, you wanted to say something, but you are muted, so.
No, I just wanted to say that even today in the United States, there are hundreds and thousands of borders because there's such a shortage of housing that people can afford all across the United States. Every city has people who are boarding because they just can't afford decent housing at the income that they're getting. So it's not
Correct.
just in the 1920s, today in America. So that's all.
Okay. Rochelle, and we go to the story.
Okay, two things. First of all, Judy answered part of my question. I was going to ask Henrietta and anybody else that can share with us any blessing of these guys that came out of having a border, something that they learned from this person. Here it's a chasana, a basherte thing. Henrietta, anything that changed their life, the way they were seeing things because of the exposure to the border. And just a quick remark, I don't know, Mina, if you remember, or Nili, I remember in the old time they used to say that only sailors in Israel will have tattoos.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yes. Yeah, because there is a saying, I'm not saying the Jews don't put tattoos on themselves.
Exactly, but you would recognize a sailor. They used to say, like, that would be a typical thing. So
unless you are a Holocaust survivor and the tattoo was there, not that
there
you
was a big
wanted it.
taboo, but no more in Israel, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay, I
so
see that.
any more blessing in disguise that people can share? Any wisdom they learned from a border? What changed in their life because their family had a border?
Well, we didn't. Okay, Marie.
From my research, which is limited, but it seems that tattoos among seagoing people started because that way you would be recognized if you drowned at sea and when your body was found. That's what it comes from.
We will do probably less.
Yeah,
class on
just
tattoos.
a little aside. That's all.
Yeah, well, I will find something about tattoo. I don't think that I can find something about tattoos. It's Jews, no tattoos. Marsha.
Yes, the Jews don't want to be tattooed because then when they pass away, they cannot be buried in a Jewish cemetery. That's what I think I've heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
But actually, that's not true. That's not true. I don't know if it was true many years ago because I heard that too, but I just read an article about it and it's not true.
Okay, I think we
it's a simple law in the Torah, lo tatil mum baguf, that you're not supposed to harm your body.
I think we just really went off track here with the tattoos. We will just leave it. Cookie, if it's about a tattoo, then no.
No.
What about the borders?
My aunt had a border. I remember his name, Faber, but he was a lifetime border and he was part of the family. I mean, wedding, anything, he was absolutely a part of the family. And he lived with them for my whole childhood. I always knew Faber at my aunt's house. And what I told you about my aunt, who was a hilarious person, I mean, when she said he comes and knock on my door, yes, I'm a lady. And my Uncle Levi was a border by her. She divorced him and he stayed there. Yeah. So that really has a great significance for me. Thank you.
Okay. I think we will just close this chapter and move on.
I want to say something else.
Yeah.
When my husband died a long time ago, I lived in my house with my daughter, Evelyn. It got very quiet, very quiet. So I woke up one morning and I said, we need a border. I got in touch with the University of Houston and asked them if they had students who needed a room in a house that didn't want to live on campus. And I had, but I didn't consider them boarders. I had 3 very nice young people living with us, and it made a world of difference in our lives. And they were all very successful in their careers here in Houston. So I guess I had boarders.
Okay.
No, come to think of it, I just want to say one more thing. My grandson actually is a boarder. When somebody buys a unit, a condo with 3 bedrooms, and they rent out each bedroom. And that's how they pay for their condo. And, they have 2 and 3 boarders. Each one has their own bathroom and bedroom. The apartments are luxurious. So everybody has their own privacy. And they just pay rent for the room that they're in. Yeah, a lot of them are doing it. I mean, he's a lawyer doing it. So,
okay, Rina Leia, and that's it, really, that's it.
Say, a housemate, like what we're talking about, is different. You get a housemate, they pay the rent, they have independent. Like my mom grew up in New Jersey with boarders, and my whole life I heard how she hated it because she had no say. They needed the money. It wasn't necessarily the best person in the world. They just took people in. And so it wasn't, for her, it was not positive. Strangers in the home that were not necessarily pleasant. And also another, I don't know if they were appropriate with the teenage girls. I don't even know that. So, not to be romanticizing it to another thought.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
And some of them had tattoos.
And some of them probably have tattoos, yes. Okay.
Was anyone a boarder himself? We didn't think about that.
Let's get back to the story.
I think so. I think so, yeah, because we can talk forever about borders and tattoos. Okay, for this class reading, I chose something funny because we read, Sholem Ash for the last few weeks, and it was kind of extremely depressing. So this is something really, I don't know, very easy reading, funny. And so let's read something a little bit about the writer. So Mariv, will you read about him?
Aryeh Meyer Kaiser, 1892 to 1967, was a Yiddish journalist who wrote humorous sketches about the immigrant and second-generation Jewish community living in Whitechapel in London's East End for the daily newspaper Die Zeit, The Times, from the 1920s until it folded in 1950. His more than 150 sketches offered humor in the midst of the Depression. Kaiser headed the Association of Jewish Relief Organizations, organizing aid to Eastern Europe and writing about conditions there.
Okay, so that's just, a little bit about him. You can find more online, but that's basically what we need to know about him. So Golda, can you start reading?
Sure. Als geht in jiddischen Theater. Als geht in jiddischen Theater rein und weist on seat. Halt sich mit ihm. When you go to the Yiddish theater and they show you to your seat, hold on to your seat. Läuft nicht darum, suchen kein Glücken. Don't run around looking for anything. Weil ihr kennt noch haben meins up, or you can have the end that I had. I feel like the seat is nicht as I bequem, even if the seat isn't so comfortable. Sitz euch eiert alt. Sit in your spot. Warum, wie lang hat ihr es Steins gesagt? In ganzen Sitz, Steins gesagt, it shouldn't happen to anyone. All the time to sit. Did it halben shot? Did I 3 hours? Amal efshe die ganze 3, sometimes the entire 3. Aber danach sind ihr doch ein freier Mensch und könnt sitzen in der Heim, wo ihr will. But after that, you're a free person and you can sit in your own home wherever you want. I feel like he's a pet. I don't know what that is. He's a pet.
Ace of Bet is where you are lying, it's kind of a sofa.
Okay.
Yeah, when you sit comfortably on.
Is it like that when you lean back in the Seder?
Yes, like when you lean back at the Seder, yeah. So it's probably kind of sofa.
Unser Gebet mit der Perna. It's all covered with a quilt.
But it's also, a perna is also like a feather comforter.
Oh, okay.
So it's very soft. That's what I mean. It's very soft.
Und also kann man sich schon mit die verschiedenen Schwierigkeiten anzugeben. So you can deal with the other hardships and you can get ideas from it. A Mensch mit Kopf gewinnt schon etwas am Mittel. A person that is able to think, always find an answer to something.
Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Golda. Susan, can you continue? Susan?
Yes.
Okay, go.
Limoshel, neben a Yiddish. You may be seated, for example, next to a Jewish woman. Was halt geseder in ein Knacken monkey nuts. So she keeps on crunching on monkey nuts. What are monkey nuts?
Monkey nuts are peanuts in their shell.
Oh, okay, peanuts.
They are like, you know, when they are already when they are inside, not that they were taken out of their shell.
Und die Scholochs warf sie euch in Scheuße rein. And she throws the shells into your lap. Die ganze Wiesen sind schon bei euch verschotten mit Scholoch. All of your pants are filled up or are covered with the shells. Vet ihr tun? What would you do? Machen a scandal in mitten spielen? Should you make a big scandal in the middle of the play? Oder antläufen auf a zweiten seat? Or maybe you'll run to another seat. Nein, ihr darf bloß mit sich mitnehmen a Kerstel.
A Berstel.
A Berstel. No, you just need to bring along with you a little brush. Und jede paar Minute herabborsten die Scholochs von die Häusen. And every few minutes you brush off the shells from your pants. Bis die Jidene wird schon haben die ganze monkey nuts aufgegessen, until the Jewish woman ate up all her monkey nuts. For Sommerzeit, wenn die Arbusen sind in season, but summertime when watermelons are in season, hat Punkt a seat neben a Yidene. So in the summertime when watermelons are in season, you particularly had a seat next to a Jewish woman who sitzt mit der Größe geschwollenem reuten Arbus, and she's sitting there with a great big puffed up red watermelon. A heimische covenant. Oh, and I don't,
Cabernet is also watermelon. I checked it.
She's brought from home the watermelon. Inmitten spielen schneit die Jidene auf dem Arbus. In the middle of the play, the Jewish woman starts cutting up the watermelon. Legt bloß auf a minute weg, and she puts away just for a minute a halben Arbus bei euch in Scheuße rein, and she leaves a half a watermelon in your lap. Und die zweite Hälfte legt sie portionsweise in Mäuler rein. And the other half, she starts putting piece by piece in her mouth.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Susan.
I have a question.
Yes.
Isn't arbus, what do you call it, garbanzo beans?
No, this is arbes, but here is arbuz. It's different.
Oh, okay. Arbuz.
Arbuz is a watermelon.
Oh,
Arbes are peas or beans.
Thank you. I shouldn't have done.
Okay. David Katz?
Dank. Ryan, was je dacht er eigenlijk doen? What should you do for yourself? Nehmen dem Arbus und geben ihm a Setz in the rear rein. Should you just take the watermelon and tell him to, I guess, buzz off, I guess? Nee. Zoi tut nicht gentleman. A gentleman doesn't do that. Schweigt, remain quiet. Los dem Arbus liegen in Scheuß and cooked off der Biene. Just let the watermelon sit in the lap and, just look at the stage. Seid sicher, als die Jiddene wird bei euch dem Arbus nicht überlosen. Rest assured that the Jewish woman will not leave behind the watermelon. Sie wird sich mit ihm noch opfartigen. She will, when she's done, she will take it. She will.
I think she will finish it.
Take it with her.
I think she'll
finish it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she will finish it.
Oh, yeah, she will get finished with it. Yeah, sich opfartigen. Yeah.
Opfartigen, yeah.
Yeah, die Nacht is groß und die Pièce is noch größer. The night is big, and then the play is even longer. Der Arbus netzt und der Arbus netzt und ihr gefindt euch in an the watermelon netzt is
It's wetting you.
it makes wet, I guess.
It's wetting you. No,
Oh,
because
nets. The watermelon is getting you wet, and you find yourself in an I can find you in an unbequemer Lager. And you're getting wet, and it's not really comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Colby, I dem euch a mittel. Here, I have a way of coping, a mittel, doing this. Net mit sich mit Gummifartikel. I take with, I named a mitzig, a take with, I guess a rubber.
A
Rubber towel, I guess.
A farticle is apron.
A farticle. Oh, yeah, a rubber, apron. Oder waterproof, a water.
It's English. It's English.
Waterproof.
Waterproof. Oder a waterproof. Okay, something that's waterproof. Und bald wie ihr setzt euch weg, sprayt es euch über die Häusen. And just as she sits down and sprays it over the pants. So
No, the moment when you're sitting down, sprayt es euch.
no, you're right. Yeah. Dank. Yeah, sprayt. Sprite. She spreads it, but you spread it over the pants.
Yeah.
Now she's not
okay.
spreading it.
Yeah. Thank you, David. I see that Zuli has a question or something. Zuli?
Yeah, she translates Idene as a Jewish woman, and I thought it was a despective kind of word referring to the Idene. Isn't that right? That Idene is not just a Yiddish woman, it's very despective. It's like somebody that's gross, or don't you think? I don't know.
Idene is like a yachne. No?
No, it can be.
Is somebody that talks about other people.
Yeah,
But even, yeah.
Or it can be just a Jewish woman, yeah.
It became derogatory, but I don't think it was then. It
Mhm.
became a derogatory word, but I don't think it was at the time. It's
Yeah.
just a Jewish woman at the time.
It depends on how you say Yiddish. If you say Yiddish in language, it means a Jewish woman. If you say, oh, he's a Zamin Yiddish, then your voice will indicate the kind of it, whether she's a Yentowich person.
Well,
Your
because
intonation.
her behavior leads you to believe that she's an Eden, she's a heavy person in the sense that doesn't consider others.
Can we?
A normal person would not be opening a watermelon in a theater. So
Okay, we will
Yeah.
talk about it in a moment, Golda.
All right, all right.
But first Michael, and then we will talk. Yeah, Michael.
Michael Vex has in his book Born to Kvetch a whole discussion of the word Yidden.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, take it out later. Okay, so Golda, the Jewish theater was infamous for things like this. People were coming, talking in the middle of the play, walking around, calling to friends.
I remember because I'm 94 years old and I used to go with my father. So I could tell you stories about the Yiddish theater.
Yeah, so you know what is describing here, it may be a little exaggerated, but not much exaggerated.
Not too much.
Not too much exaggerated. Okay. Karen, will you continue, please? Hier. Und als ihr sitzt.
Und als ihr sitzt in der Heu auf der
Galerie. Of the gallery.
Gallery. And as you sit up high in the gallery, und ihr der sehen uns in die stalls, and you and you see us unten, and you look down into the stalls.
The stalls, yeah. That's the parts of the theater. The stalls are down and they are in the forefront of the theater.
I as a friend, and you see a friend down in the stalls, a landsman, a countryman from back home, und ihr wilt, als soll wissen, als ihr seid euch da in Theater, and you want him to see that you are also in the theater, darft ihr nicht haben und gefliehen. Don't get up and fly down there. Ihr besser schreit zu ihm arup. It's better if you scream down to him. Pfeift.
Whistle.
Whistle. Pirchet or gasp. Nor von Ort rührt euch nicht. Only don't leave your place. Ob euer landsman hört euch nicht. If your countryman does not hear you, dann ruft ihm, warft a banana. Try to throw a banana. Ich mein the Scholechts, I mean the peel. The banana best of the banana is eaten. Ihr trefft as Satan und nicht ihm. If you hit another one and not him,
Seid bei euch nicht gefallen. Don't be discouraged. Probiert noch einmal und noch einmal. Keep trying again and again. Sof kol sof, eventually, werdet ihr doch im Musen treffen. Eventually, you will have to hit him.
Hit him.
Have contact with him.
Okay, thank you. I see the two people raise their hands. Zuli, Michael, your hand is up from last time, yes? Yeah, okay,
No.
Zuli.
Now, when we went to the movies, on the second floor, on the style was to have shemishkes, and they would speak the shemishkes down. So you have to put an umbrella not to get all the shemishkes in your ear. I remember that it was terrible with the shemish. They chew the shemishke and speak the rest.
Yeah, well, it's exactly what the Eden is doing. She's eating peanuts and throwing it at him.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank you. Rochale?
Ot ob ich euch gewissen, wie so ihr könnt euch ganz gemütlich sitzen auf euer Seat, gut, enjoying the play und nicht davon herumlaufen von einem Ort zum zweiten. Here I showed you, how you can quite, I think gemütlich is maybe comfortably sitting.
Comfortable.
Okay, comfortable sitting on your seat, well enjoying the play, and you don't have to run around from one place to another. Allebei wird ich kluger gewesen und euch so getun, wollte ich nicht gehabt den missen Abschnitt, was ich hab gehabt letzten Shabbos im Theater, wenn sie ist kinderfrei. I wish I was wiser and did just like that. I would not have this unpleasant, ugly Abschnitt, I guess, situation.
A situation or like Goral.
Occurrence. Occurrence.
The ugly fate that I caught lately in the last Shabbos in the theater when it was kinderfrei, free for children. Es hat sich mir verblust reinzugehen zu matinee in Theater. I felt like going to the matinee in the theater. Beim Reingehen habe ich dort ungetroffen, a Welt mit Kindern. At the entrance, I met with a world of children. Tates und Mames mit Kindern, Seides und Bobes mit Eineklich, Vetters und Mummes mit Plimenikes. Fathers and mothers with children, grandparents and grandmothers with grandchildren, uncles and aunts with nieces. How do you say that?
Yeah.
Nieces.
Nephews and nieces.
Nephews and nieces. Thank you. Pitzler-Kinder und erwachsene 1000-wochige Kinder, was haben gesucht Chasunim und Kales. Small children and the erwachsene 1000-wochige Kinder. It's an expression, I'm not sure. And grown up
that are 1,000-week old, like grown-up children.
Oh, is that 1000-wochige? What does it mean? I'm not sure. I understand the words, but I don't know what it means.
Does it mean teenagers, Minna?
I think it's teenagers. I think it's, it's already teenagers.
1,000 days, like they're not little children anymore.
Yeah.
They've been around for a while.
Thank you. So 1,000 grown-ups, teenagers that were looking for grooms and brides.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Rochale. Luisa, can you continue? Luisa?
Yes, I was
Yeah.
muted.
Okay, sorry. Zwischen.
Zwischen dem reuschigen Kindergesindel hat a Mädele, a kleines, sich gerissen mit a Gewein in Theater herein und gebeten, me soll sie hereinlassen zu der Boven. So among the, I don't know what reuschigen is.
Noisy.
Noisy.
Noisy, no?
Yeah,
Noisy.
the noisy.
In the noisy, and what is a Kindergesindel?
Gesindel is gang. Is a gang.
So among the gang of noisy children, right?
Yes.
There was a little girl who was a small girl, a claims, right?
Yeah.
Gerissen who, what would be gerissen mit a Gewein? So she started crying, but what is gerissen mit a Gewein? She started
Started crying. Loud cry.
Started to cry. So thank you. She started to cry in the theater inside. And
no, again, here that's where the gerissen is. Gerissen in theater herein, that she wanted to get into the theater.
Okay, wanted to get into the theater. And let me see. Herein gebeten and asked or begged that they should let her in to her Bobby to see her grandmother. Wo where? Fragt ihr der Porter, asks her the porter. Wo sitzt dort die Bobbe deine? Where is your grandmother sitting? Sie ist auf der
stage.
Stage. She's on the stage. Wie kommt die Bobbe auf der stage? How did she get on the stage? Sie singt in Chor. She's singing in the choir. Sie ist a Chormädel. She is a choir girl. Nehme ich schon das Kind rein in Theater auf mein Ticket. So I go ahead and take the child inside in the theater on my ticket. Führ ihr zu der stage tier. I guide her or take her to the door of the stage, zu der Boven ihrer, und ich setz sich auf mein Ort. So I took her to that, through that door to her grandma, and then I sit on my seat.
Okay, thank you, Luisa. Sergio, I saw that you joined us today, Sergio. Okay, can you read?
I prefer.
Good.
No, yes, I'm saying that I prefer to listen today and to learn instead of reading.
No problem. Next time, Sergio. Next time. Hilda? You're muted, Hilda.
Sorry. Sitzt neben mir a Jiddische in a Futter nem?
A fur coat.
Ah, thank you. A futternem Mantel. Von welchen seit sitzt sich Arois as amolik Weiß faltig und auf I can't
their choice.
It's a dalet. It looks like a hay, but it's a
choice. All right. right, bei ihr Ruth a große Lodene.
Yes.
Weg.
Bag.
Weg.
Bag, it's English. It's English, a bag.
Oh, a bag.
A bag.
Bag. So sitting near me, a woman in a fur coat of which Suzette
Underneath the coat, you can see you can see
right, and Amelik
Weißfartuch.
right, an old white coat.
No, fartuch.
Overall, an overall.
No, fartuch. Fartuch is apron.
Apron, yeah, an overall is also an apron. Same thing, yeah.
Yeah, but an amolik Weißfartuch, it means that it used to be white. Once it was white. Once it was white.
Okay. Und euch
der Scheiß. Der.
Oh, of der, thank you. So on her lap, by ihr root, by her root?
Yes, there is, it sits. Sits, there is.
There is a große, piled up. Ungelodene is
the pack bag.
Is full.
Bag.
A what? Sorry?
Full
Yes, piled up.
Piled up.
Piled up bag.
Overloaded bag.
Ah, yeah, a full bag, yeah.
Yes.
Zu Füßens by her feet,
yeah.
By the feet von der Yiddische
Yiddish,
by the woman's feet, posit arum, a yattle, a glens.
A kleines.
What is a yattle?
Yattle is a small boy.
By her feet, there was a small boy, a little boy.
Yes.
Was spielt sich. Sorry. I can't. Right, a small boy, playing with a ball.
Yes.
Keckelt sich der Ball jede Minute. The ball was making a noise, bouncing.
No, kaikelt is to להתגלגל, guys.
Was rolling.
Rolling. Oh God! I'm sorry.
Okay, go on. Someone
It's all right. No, it's all right. Michael's got it.
Okay.
Keikelt mitten.
The ball is rolling all the
rolling
time.
avec. Until unsere seats. The ball was rolling away under our seats.
Yeah.
Kriegt das Yattel, the boy is crawling. Runtel is crawling underneath. Plantelt sich zwischen die Füße and is crawling around between our feet. Und der geht uns also die Jordan, and he's getting on our nerves.
Exactly. Yeah.
As fragt uns
Bechairem, bechairem.
Oh, that's a Hebrew word. What does it
That's a
mean?
Hebrew word. Fragt uns bechairem, God knows, something like this.
Okay. Was spielt, and he's asking what's going on.
No,
Yes.
no. That
What's playing on the
Oh,
stage?
what is playing on the stage?
So the meaning is that we, because he's getting on our nerves, we really don't know what's going on the stage.
Okay.
Fragt uns bechairem is, how would you translate it, Maurice?
I would say it's plural for boys. Bacher, bacherin.
No.
No, bechairem.
No. Fragt uns bechairem, you can
ask, but we don't know the answer.
Asking us in vain.
Yes,
Asking us
asking
in
us,
vain.
yes. Asking us in vain. That's
In
that's
vain.
good, Hilda.
Good.
Yes,
Yes.
that's good. Thanks. Good. Okay.
I have a
thank
question.
You. Yes, Cookie.
The word eingeladen, you said it was like filled up, but how about when somebody invites you? Doesn't it? Ich bin eingeladen zu dem Simcha, no?
It was
I
not
was
Golda, we cannot hear you. You are.
I'm not
something
hearing
is-
It's not eingeladen, it's eingeladen.
It's
It's not the same word, Cookie.
It's not laden, it's
Sounds almost
laden.
the same.
It's eingeladen.
Laden is piled up, it's stuffed.
It's-
Laden.
It's
Eingeladen.
loaded.
Oh, and the other one's eingeladen.
Laden, right. This is
Laden.
Laden, which is to load up.
Listen, the way they spoke Yiddish, it's
They spoke
Okay.
wonderful Yiddish. What are you talking about?
well. The
Okay,
Dalit,
guys, go. Let's.
when you heard it as a child, sometimes the Dalit sounded like a test. The way they spoke.
Okay, Luisa. Only Luisa.
Thank you. I have a question. The word, going back to the word Yidene, because he uses it all the time, right?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be I'm asking, is this because of the word that used to be used in English, especially maybe in Britain, the word Jewess, without considering a derogatory word? Could that be what the writer has in mind?
I don't know. It's the first thing that I read. Okay, maybe Hilda knows. Yeah, Hilda.
Well, Yidana in my family and the wider family as well was slightly derogatory. So
okay.
it wasn't just a woman,
I
but
see.
it was yes, someone a bit common.
I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
common, right. That's
Yeah.
the word. You're right. You're right. Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
what he is describing here is quite, common.
Yes, you would not go to the theater. A person that goes to the theater would not go with a huge watermelon. I mean, and start cutting it in the theater.
Yeah, but we're talking about the Yiddish theater, not
The
any.
Yiddish theater, yeah.
Talking about Yiddish theater.
Okay, so then.
Thank you.
Well, it's like the other story we read where he calls his wife, he doesn't use her name in Sholomash's story. He calls her Hema. And a Yidin, it's not, it's a despective term.
But I could never understand why a male is sex discrimination, because a male.
But that's what it was in the Yiddish world.
No, but I mean, in other words, if a man is called Ayid, ich bin Ayid, that's okay. But if you say ich bin Ayidine, it's already derogatory.
Yes, that was the lifestyle at that time.
Okay, we can talk about it, for ages. That's something that is, okay, but we won't do it now. We will let Brenda read. Brenda? Brenda, you're muted. That's why we cannot hear you. That's why.
Noch
Nein, nein.
No, ich weiß, aber ich will sagen ein paar Wörter.
Okay, good.
Noch die euch gezeichnete Letters. Ich will reden.
Okay.
Oi weh is mir, ich will proeven.
Ja.
Kann es schon die Jidne mehr nicht erzählen, der Leiden. So I cannot tell more about the
No.
Kann es schon die Jidne mehr nicht der Leiden. I will need Maurice's help.
Okay, Maurice,
So the
because you see,
woman, she couldn't take it anymore. She couldn't stand it anymore.
Okay. Chutz.
No.
Sie.
Chapt.
Chapt sie das Jattel, warft es über die Knie. So she takes the little boy and puts him over her knee. Verkashert das Hemdel. So she Verkashert means to kosher something.
Verkashet is like this, what I'm doing now, to fold
the sleeves.
To fold the sleeve.
Oh, does the coat, the hemdel, the shirt, und patcht es gut rein in auf
Elef.
Oh, Elef
Mechilos. That's from Hebrew.
Was meint das?
I have no idea. I tried to find it online, and since Morty is not here, I cannot.
She smacks him, the kingdom come, is how I.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Was meinst das?
Marif, say it again.
She smacks him, the kingdom come.
Lois Mariv. Ich kann nicht hören, wenn Allemann redet. Mariv?
She smacks him, the kingdom come is my loose translation.
Okay. Azoi as sie soll haben zu gedenken. So she hit him to kingdom come so that he would remember it.
Yeah. Probably, Brenda, there is an explanation from the Gemara or Mishnah or something for the Elef Mechiles, but I couldn't find it.
No, what might have said makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, but I want, it's based on something. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, it would be nice to find out what it really means.
Yeah, I see, just a moment. Just a moment. I see that people raise their hands, and so Rochelle, please.
Yeah, I suspect that what he means here is that she rolled up his shirt and smacked his tuchus.
Yeah,
opposed to
that's what she
rolling up
said.
his sleeves.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but that's what.
Yeah, the handle, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so go on, Brenda.
Die Akteurin auf der Bühne Handig Patch haben gemeint, als is an applause. So the actors heard the word patch and they thought it meant that they got some applause.
No, not the word. They heard the smack.
The smack.
Patch of the slaps.
Yeah.
Smack, okay.
The patch.
They sich ganz heftig verneigt. Okay, they heard the whole, was is heftig?
They bowed.
Oh, bowed.
They politely, no, the verneigt is to bow. Heflech is courteous, polite. So they bowed politely.
They bowed slightly. Bet das Yatel hat sich azoi zerweint. So he started to cry.
Yes.
As me hat ihm gar gekent einnehmen. so he started to cry, and they had him garnished. Nothing would make him eingenommen. Stop.
So nothing could make him stop.
Stop. Okay. So hat afilu nicht geholfen die stille Knippen, was das Yatel hat beschas Mesche.
Beschas Meise.
Beschaf Meise reingehabt von der Mammen seine. So, okay, so where'd I stop? Only, so he had only held.
No.
It didn't even help.
No, so aber afilu nicht geholfen. Even.
No, it didn't help. It only didn't help the quiet knippen.
Pinching.
Yeah. Pinching was das what the little boy had Bashas usually.
No, Bishas Meise at the time.
Bashas eingehabt to
He
catch.
received from his mother.
To
That
catch.
he received.
Okay.
Guys, let her do it.
Okay, from the mama's, from his mother.
From his mother.
Uh-huh.
Okay, this the other line, and we stop here.
Okay, is geworden geschrei. So there happened, there was a cry. Could wait a minute.
English.
Oh,
Quiet, please.
Quiet, please. Quiet, please.
Okay, I think we have 2 minutes to go. I think we should stop here. Continue next week. Yeah, Susan, I see you. Susan.
Oh, I looked up in my Wörterbuch, Russian Kodesh, Mechila, and at the end of the definition, it says, euphemism hinten, toches.
Okay.
Underneath, okay.
Das
is Yiddish.
This is Yiddish, yeah. Okay, good. Thank you, Susan, for checking it. Good. Golda.
I went with my father because we were a big family, and every time my father had tickets, one of the children was sick. So I was the one that always went with my father because I spoke Yiddish and I loved Yiddish theater. Well, my father and mother had great seats, and I was on the aisle. And this couple she was complaining to her mother that whatever she gives her husband, obviously they were newly married, whatever she gives her husband, he's never happy. She makes him fried eggs, he's not happy. She makes him French toast, he's not happy. He's never happy, and he has a stomach that's upset. So a little girl in the theater ran forward and she said, give him woman. Right in the theater. She ran up to the stage, this little girl that was in the audience, and she said, give thy mind flummen. Browns.
Lyman. Ay.
Okay. Okay. So I must have been about 10 years old. I could never forget that. That was always in my mind. I came home and I told my mother that was the funniest part of the whole show.
Okay. Did any one of you been to the Yiddish theater?
Yay.
Yeah. Okay, Hilda.
Yes, but it wasn't so bad when I went, because I went post-war. So I think I've mentioned it before, sort of 1947, that kind of time. So it wasn't quite so bad. So people were not noisy in that they would talk and shout, but they ate the whole time. And even in the interval, there was a little cafeteria inside, and they would sell herring bagels and all kinds of things that you could take back in with you and eat in your seat. So yeah, the remnants of that kind of atmosphere was still there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Cookie.
My parents, gewesen sehr fromm, aber einmal ist meine Mama mir genommen zu sehen, Tevye, the Milchedicke. It was so sad, and I was crying so much. That's the only show I ever saw on Second Avenue. Tevye,
is very sad. Yeah.
very, very
Okay.
sad.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Cookie. Zuli, yeah.
Yeah, I went to the theater a lot and it was very civilized. We never had that kind of problem, and always the guards took anyone that made trouble was taken out, and the thing they allowed was smoking, and that was taken away afterward because people started coughing. But it was very civilized in my time. People sing along in the musicals. It was very lively.
Okay, Rochale, you're with us. You remember in Israel?
Yeah, בקבוקים שמתגלגלים על הרצפה.
Yeah, the bottles just
They would
rolling
there
down.
would be always a mischievous guy who would throw the bottle to roll all the way down.
What are you talking about? Israeli theater in a Bima Kameri? No.
No, we are not.
No,
We are
cinema,
talking in the
cinema.
early days. That's early
No
days,
way.
like here. We are talking
I
about.
don't know where you went to the theater in Rehovot. It was very respectful.
Okay, we are talking.
Okay, we're talking cinema. I talked about the cinema, Nili.
Yeah, we are
But
talking.
I was going to say, even today, people are encouraged to eat. You get popcorn.
Exactly.
You get soda. And
I don't know where. Okay.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
cannot bring food
New
from
York,
outside, but you're encouraged to eat what they offer you.
Yeah, and there was, I keep telling people, like, not the theater, but cinema in Israel, we were participating, we were talking with the actors, we were screaming at them, we were telling them what to do, and we were getting very anxious why they are not doing it. It was a lot of fun. Going to the cinema was a
Nina,
lot
you
of fun.
reminded me, Nina, you reminded me something very funny that I still remember from my childhood. I went to see a Tarzan film. And I still remember, like it is today, all the boys, when Tarzan go with the famous shout,
exactly.
all the boys would jump from their chairs and start hopping around and making the same sound.
The same,
it was
yeah.
hilarious.
Well, it's exactly the same, only it was theater, only it was, cinema, not the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Louisa and then Golda. Louisa.
Yeah, I wanted to say, when I was a student at the Hebrew University and we used to just go to the movies, there were always bottles that began rolling at a certain point in time, all of them together.
Yeah.
So it was as if at the word of somebody, the bottles started rolling from the back of the theater forward.
So you see, and that was probably what, 80s, 70s, what?
The late 70s.
Yeah, you see, the story is 910, 920, and near late 70s, nothing changed.
But also when I was in Israel a few years ago, and there was an issue at the train station, and there was a line, and you talk about in the theater, people telling the authorities what to do. Everybody in the line started telling the people from the railway station what they needed to do.
Of course, because they know better, of course. Okay, Golda.
I just wanted to say that when I went with my father to see Maurice Schwartz, it was a completely different theater. It was quiet. You didn't miss a sound from the stage. Everyone was very respectful. It was like Shakespeare. And it was completely different. kind of theater.
But you know why, Golda? Because Maurice Schwartz Theater was an art theater. It has an art in the...
Yes.
But yeah, so it was very artsy. So that's why people respected it more.
But as a child, a child that was born here, European parents, there was a lot that Morris Schwartz said that I didn't understand because it was a much more educated Yiddish that he spoke. But I was mesmerized because you could see, you know, before you could see the difference between the two types of acting. And I remember after a while when my father wanted me to go with him to the theater, I told my father, I said, Miss Crescent is nachalsa kala. I said, she must be about 60 years old already. And she was always a kala. She was always a bride. I mean, it became ridiculous after a while. But anyway, and my mother always had excuses on what not to go. And then later on, when I traveled with my mother and we saw theater in different countries, my mother always said I couldn't stand the Yiddish Shun Theater on 2nd Avenue, and she never wanted to go. So she always gave excuses. The kind is kranke, he's so whatever. But I had a wonderful childhood. I benefited by it. Anyway, thank you.
Thanks, Golda. Rochale, but before you talk, are you going to participate in the Seder? You haven't answered my emails.
Oh, I didn't realize there was an email regarding that, so I will look into that.
Are you going to participate? It's in 2 weeks.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Okay.
Two quick examples for another thing that I remembered, but then I have a question. In Herzliya, where I grew up, it was famous that there was a guy called Meir, for my neighborhood, as it happened. If you went to a suspense movie and you knew that Meir is there, at one point when it gets very suspenseful and you forget about Meir, he would have a method to use his tongue, but making such a strong noise that he would jump everyone from the seats and everyone would crack up laughing like crazy. But I was going to say it's because things were more personal. People kind of knew each other better. Also, if the film was broken, everyone would shout, Max, because he was in charge of fixing the film. Even today, when there is a mishap, people from Herzliya, jokingly, they say, where is Max? Kind of, he's gone for a long time, you know. But I have a question. When I came to America, I couldn't understand it. I thought, like Neely, theater is theater. When did the word theater become cinema, and why is a musical also called theater? I don't quite understand it, and I feel like not happy with it. I feel the word was stolen from where it should stay as a theater. Because when
theater
you go online,
is everything. Theater is an all-compassing word. It doesn't have to be only, you know, serious or serious.
Because the hall looks the same. Where you see, you have the stage and you have the seats that go in a diagonal.
Yeah, but in Israel we say teatron and we say kolma.
Yeah, it's different.
Cinema. You know, there's a word for it. But
it comes from the German. The differentiation comes from the German. That's how it goes in Israel. Maybe Barbara knows about theater.
Well, regarding cinema and theater, there were live stage performances before the feature film was shown. So that may be a reason it was called the theater also, because of the live performances. They usually were musical performances. Actually, Susan Gantz's mother, and Susan's still on, Susan Gantz's mother was a dancer in one of these theaters where there were live performances before a movie was shown, I believe. I don't know if she's still on.
No, she's not on.
Okay. Yeah. So that may be a possible reason.
Louisa?
Yeah, thank you. I think Barbara is before me.
No, Barbara already talked.
I did already. I did.
I just have two linguistic quick comments. The word arbuz, I just looked it up because the first thing that struck me was that it was related to the word karpuz from Turkish, which appears in Ladino. So in Ladino, they say karpuz for watermelon, but it is from Polish, or arbuz is from Polish as well. So it's interesting where that word comes from. And the other one that comes from Polish also is futro. When he talks about the fur coat, that's why I immediately knew that he was referring to a fur coat, because he was born in a part of Poland, right? This author.
Probably Poland, Russia, something like this.
Yeah,
he wasn't born in London.
Yeah, he was born in Upper Silesia. So I think Upper Silesia is Poland, I think.
Well, okay, thank you. David and then Rochale. David? You're muted? No, he's not muted, but we cannot hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm still. Yeah, I have a friend from Turkey. However, Turkey, a friend, and she. The word for watermelon is karpuz. The stress is different, but it's basically the same word. But it's also in Ladino. Now, I noticed there's another Yiddish word from Turkish, kabak. Pumpkin. Now, does that in Ladino also maybe?
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah.
Also, patlıcan, you know patlıcan?
Oh, patlıcan,
yeah. Okay, thanks. So, Rochale, and we finish for today.
Okay, since we talk about theater, I have to share with you something very funny that happened to us when we came to America. And my cousin, who works with children, he encouraged me to have the kids watch television to increase their learning ability, to learn English, because they were very young, 7 and 8. So my son comes to me one day, he says, I want to see a G.I. Joe film. I saw it on television, the advertisement. I know where it plays. But he didn't understand enough English. I says, okay, where does it play? So he stands like that and he goes, in the theater near you.
In the theater near you. Okay.
Go. Bye-bye, everybody. Toda rabah.
Okay, bye guys. See you next week. We will finish reading this one.
Great ending. Great ending.
And Rochale, please answer me because
Yes, I'll do it right away. I'll check it right now.
Okay, bye guys. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.